The financial industry's migration to the ISO 20022 messaging standard will unlock benefits for all players across the payments chain, including banks, intermediaries, corporates, and other end users. ISO 20022 will establish a common language, provide more structure and data than the current SWIFT-MT standard, and accelerate cross-border payments processing. The version of ISO 20022 that will replace MT messaging across the SWIFT network is named MX. In the following examples, we will explore mapping and standards for MX messages using the PAX 008 Financial Institution to Financial Institution Customer Credit Transfer. We will review a few elements of this message format and provide a comparison with MT103 equivalent fields. In this translation, Field 50 in an MT103 is for debtor information. To support interoperability with MT messages during the migration period, PAX 008 will accept free format text in the postal address element. The first line of Field 50 in an MT103 will be input into the PAX 008 name element. The remaining information will be input into the unstructured address line elements with up to 3 lines allowed. The debtor account number from Field 50 in an MT103 will map to the structured debtor account ID element in the PAX 008 format. Eventually, to take full advantage of the ISO 20022 capabilities, the industry will move away from unstructured debtor information in PAX 008. The structured PAX 008 will have dedicated elements for each piece of information, including but not limited to postbox, postcode, town name, and country. Systems will have the ability to read, process, and screen the structured debtor information much faster, supporting end-to-end automation across the transaction lifecycle. Each bank has a designated business identifier code, or BIC. In an MT103, the sender's BIC is in the first block, and the receiver's BIC is in the second block. Each sits within a line of other characters, making them hard to identify. In PAX 008, the instructing agent and instructed agent's BICs have dedicated elements and are identified with XML tags. Following SWIFT's mandate put in place in 2018, all payments messages must have a unique end-to-end transaction reference number, or UETR, to identify the transaction and improve its traceability across the payments chain. In MT103, the UETR is in Block 3, Tag 121. In PAX 008, the UETR will be clearly tagged and easily identifiable. In MT103, the instruction ID is in Field 20. This unique sender number is a point-to-point reference between a sender and receiver, and it will be clearly tagged in PAX 008. The instruction ID and UETR are both mandatory elements in PAX 008. Remittance information accompanies a payment message and provides additional detail on the nature of a payment and the invoice it's intended to settle. Using the example of invoice information, let's look at what will change in the MX format. When MT Field 70 contains an unstructured block of text for remittance data, it will initially remain unstructured in MX to support interoperability. But in a post-ISO world, this is not ideal. The text could potentially still require manual review because it's not structured, leading to delays and inefficiencies in matching entries. The industry should move towards an end state that uses structured XML tags for every piece of data in the remittance information. This includes, but is not limited to, the invoice number, invoice date, the payable amount due, what the invoice is for, the identity of the invoice issuer, and where the issuer is located. Structured remittance information provides enriched data, allowing for a greater level of automation, faster processing, reduced human touchpoints, and increased efficiencies. In the case of invoice information, it will help organizations better match entries with the items that a transfer is intended to settle. As the industry moves out of the interoperability period and towards fully structured MX messages, all players will need to prepare their organizations and systems for this migration. As Citi executes our global ISO 20022 strategy, we will guide clients through this period of transformation and provide critical thought leadership that helps our clients understand the nuances and benefits of migration to the MX format. To learn more about the ISO 20022 standard for payment messages, please contact your Citi representative.